Hi, I have been musing over my blog, my devotion last week that I used, where I found myself reflecting upon a devotional that I wrote when I was on sabbatical in Italy about 10 years ago. And I had learned that it, it proved helpful for me to give myself permission to get lost. So when I was in cities and places that I hadn't been, where normally getting lost is a sign of failure and we get phobic and somewhat panicky about it, I had learned that there was a profound peace in giving myself permission to get lost and then seeing what the Lord taught me as I found my way out. It was really helpful. It was enormously helpful. So that's what I began last week, thinking about my retirement and the transition that I'm going through, and my wife, Brenda, and what we're going through in our family life right now. That rather than feeling that I have to have an answer, I'm giving myself permission to be lost. And I'm excited to see what the Lord is going to teach me and teach Brenda. Well, as I began to think more about that, I wondered what it would be like if St. Luke's Lutheran Church, during this time of transition, could give itself permission to be lost. And what would the Lord want to show this congregation that has been blessed in so many ways about how God intends to bless it in new ways and how the best days of ministry are yet in front of this church? And there are even greater opportunities to serve than the wonderful places that we have been together, lo, these almost 28 years. So that's the thought that I want to give you. I want you, I want to give you permission as a congregation to go into this transition time, this time where there's an interim, where we have a transition committee that's working with everyone in the church and with the synod to provide for St. Luke's future. When it comes time for a call committee to be established and to call a new pastor, which will be in place, say, about a year from now. We'll just say about that time. To wonder, how could God bless us if we're just willing to give this time up of transition, even if it means feeling a little bit lost? So I was thinking on the 139th Psalm on these words. Think of them and about what it means in terms of God's commitment to be present with us, even in places that where we don't know where we're at, where we might feel lost. The 139th Psalm. O Lord, you have searched me out and you know me. You know my sitting down and my rising up. You discern my thoughts from afar. There indeed, O Lord, there's not a word on my lips, but you know it altogether. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is so wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I flee from your spirit? Where can I run from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make the grave my bed, you are there also. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand will hold me and your right hand will lead me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will cover me, the night and the day to you are both alike. I'm going to stop with that. What I'd like you to consider is the promise of the Lord speaking through the psalmist here, that there isn't a place we will go that the Lord isn't there already meeting with us. And if that place is somehow a sense of being lost or lacking direction, having confidence that the Lord is there can be a profoundly hopeful experience, even to the point we fear the darkness. And darkness is as much metaphoric as it is real here. Darkness is a place of wilderness. It is a place devoid of answers. Darkness is a place where we can't see where we should be going and what we should be about. The psalmist says, to you, O Lord, the darkness and the light are both alike. There is no difference. They are the same. So it is the invitation that we can extend to the Lord. Lord, this is going to feel a little bit like being lost now, but you can see as well in the darkness as in the light. And so I'm going to trust in you to lead me and to show me things that I need to learn in this place and in this time. It's kind of like someone once said that a crisis is a way too important event to miss. So in the same way, there's much to be learned just in allowing ourselves to be lost and to come to grips with what that feels, and then trusting in God's provision in that moment, and inspiration and source of direction. So over these next few weeks, I invite you to join with me. Join with me as a congregation, as people of faith. Join with me in the spiritual exercise of getting lost. And let's find out what God has in store for each of us individually, but as a congregation. Because God has plans to bless St. Luke's mightily. I'm very, very excited for this church and the future and how God intends to bless it. So, those are my thoughts for you. 139th Psalm, spend some time with it. And then try to not be afraid of getting lost, okay? God's peace with you. I'll keep you in my prayers. You keep me in yours. If you have any questions, just send them below. Just fill out an email and I'll try to answer it. Bye.